and live in the 899. It's the man. Yo, Epi. This man knows that I've got different special love for him. You know, he knows I've got special different love for him because I can't sit and watch an Epixode performance. It's impossible. It's either I have to leave the room because it's too much for me. I'm gonna get emotional, or I have to just make noise and distract. Episode, Charlie, bro, what's good?
Give thanks.
Charlie, you be too good. Why? That's the first question.
I don't know. I've asked that one.
Charlie, Episode, you're good. You are good.
It's a blessing.
But wait, let me just start off with something. Fashion-wise, you know, I was telling you that I love what you're wearing.
Yeah.
It's locally made.
Yeah, I made it myself. It's one of my stuff.
Man, I want one.
Thank you. Tomorrow
I want one. This one,
yeah.
Charlie, I want one. Monday is repping live on my skin.
Is it just the shirt or the shirt and the pants? Like
okay,
everything?
so the pants is not mine, but the
shirt.
Yeah.
It's really crisp.
Solid.
Yeah, you know, it's like when you go to maybe one of the furniture stores to buy furniture, the props, the props is not parts, you know.
Yeah.
But now talking about that, is that branching into a little fashion brand for Episode?
I think I've always worn myself over the years. I don't just put tags on it. You know,
so do you design yourself?
Yes, I design it myself, from the graphics to get my fashion guy to put the pieces together, and then to the embroidery and everything, I did everything myself.
Wait, so you literally do the design, everything yourself?
Yes, the Narcos design on my back. Yeah, you want to see it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
See that? We see that.
Epi, they be visual art students.
Yeah, we visual. And
Yeah.
I did arts and textbook too. So.
That's crazy.
Visual for no, I say a conference.
Talent will reach. The talent's down so into your count.
I don't know if Siri can help me out with the mic. The mic, like the sound, some way when they hear.
Yeah.
Wow. So it's a mixed blend of a fashion designer, a musician. I'm here to ask what the other one would be, but like this is.
Well, I think it's arts for me. You know.
Yeah.
I do my videos. I edit my videos. I have different stuff. I have the art side where I paint.
You paint?
Yes, I do. Apart from graphics.
Yeah, I paint too. So that's how come here you connect.
You know,
Tell us more. Yeah.
So that's that brand. Is not. I don't really like it when it all falls under the Episode brand.
Okay.
So that part is knee British. So I get to sell the pieces outside. You know. And then there's also the sneaker customization side where we have Wear Me, and then we put arts on sneakers. And then I've last year I discovered another side of myself. I make rags. So like rag from
into decor.
Carpets and stuff.
Like design, whatever design you want, I can make it on the rag. And I'm still trying to perfect that side. I'm not yet there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Episode. That other side of you, how do you promote it? Do you? Because I haven't chanced or heard this side.
Yeah. Well, it's sad that this part of the world, when you're a carpenter or people know you to be a carpenter, you have to stay that till you die. You know, but fortunate for me, that's what I said. Sometimes I use the Episode music to promote that side.
Okay.
But I don't really brand it as part of the Episode music because I feel like where we've gotten to with the brand, the Episode music is bigger than me sitting here. It has so many people involved. You have people's life are at stake when it comes to those things. So I can't use my personal stuff to interfere. Yeah. And what also happens is learning from experience. I've got to know that, imagine there's somebody who doesn't like Episode music. If I should play my pieces, maybe the person likes it, but because of the fact that the person is affiliated to a different brand, and then it's more of like, you know, dancehall and the rivalry and artistry and all this. Exactly. So sometimes I don't like it. I just post it. But most of the paintings I do too, I don't really sell them. I keep them. I don't really sell my pieces.
I was going to ask if it's going to ever turn into a business for you, but I think
it is. It is.
Like,
I sell them, but I think this year I want to have my first exhibition. So I'm working on that.
Well, anyways, it's 9:27 already, logged on to Studio 899, and you're welcome into the studio with us here. If you're also logged on Plus 89.9 FM, we are hanging out with one of Ghana's versatile, most talented. I don't want to now tag it as a reggae dancehall artist. He's just an artist per se. You know, if you ask this man to do anything, he can get it done. Okay, so Episode is live in the studio with us. You just saw a performance he just did. That performance will be back on our YouTube, and tonight plays at 10 p.m. You can watch it. But there's something I picked up from this performance episode.
Yeah.
Now, you did one dancehall,
Yes.
and a lot of highlife.
Yes.
And in recent times, we have seen you projecting that. I mean, I'm all for the highlife now. It's my blood.
Yes.
I see you projecting a lot more highlife.
Yes.
What is the intention behind this?
Well, for me as an artist, I think it's growth. One, because looking at how I started till now, I think I've always had that side from where I'm coming from. My mom playing the cultural troops, Khalifi, Wolome, and all those things over decades. But the dancehall love started because we come from the coastal side. So you grow up definitely following somebody who does reggae or dancehall. But I'm saying growth because the longevity I see that if I have to actually project or still be relevant in the next decade, then it has to go beyond just putting beats together to sing or to talk about what is really happening. And few researches that I've actually done is now the whole projection is on Afrobeats. No disrespect, but I feel like we've not tapped into, let's say, 4 decades or 5 decades of catalogs that sounds indigenous Ghanaian sound before Afrobeat. You know, so when I did Atia, and then it was more like an eye-opener for me. And I'm like, okay, why don't I experiment on these things? Then I started doing researches to find out there are more artists than the ones that we heard that have actually done so much. One of my new favorites is F. Kenya. F. Kenya is an Nzima man whose sound Wuta tapped from his sound, Flavor taps most of his rhythms from.
Wow.
And he's Ghanaian. You know, talk of the likes of the E.T. Mensens to Dr. KJCs and all those things. So for me, that is where sometimes I feel like I've been here before. You know, so it's more like continuing what I couldn't achieve in my past life.
You feel like high life artists or high life as a genre has a longer lifespan, you know, in terms of the music.
Yes.
And it creates an identity for us better.
Yes.
Than regardless, like you said, no disrespect to Afrobeats, than Afrobeats, which has because of the mad rush for it. It's like a mass music, so there's more, and your song can just die out quickly, and then there's that a feeling in the place you are in right now?
Well, I posted something 2 days ago. I said, if Jamaicans can say Bob Marley over Michael Jackson, and Nigerians can say Fela over Bob Marley, then I have every right to say E.T. Mensah over Fela. No disrespect.
This is another one.
Yes, because
you got ladies' attention. Like, okay,
yes, you know, because these are people who didn't just wake up and then Fela has done his part, his bit, but just like I'm saying, our sound goes beyond that, and even getting to understand that Afrobeat itself, he had to even link up with Ghanaians to discover that side. It means that then is way bigger than what we have perceived it to be. And the only problem I find is it's not being documented enough. That is the only problem.
Is that in reference to High Life?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not been documented enough. Just like the names I mentioned. And if you look my research on YouTube, you barely find high life documentaries. And
Only
the ones
I think
that you
this
see,
is something that we've had a convo we've had here before.
Yes. The ones that you see are even they are documented by whites. You know, and everybody has their own stories to tell. But just like I'm saying, it's way bigger than whatever we think it is. I can't say much because I'm still learning. But I only feel like in recent times, we can't force everybody under that umbrella, because other artists are we're all putting food on our table with different genres.
Yeah.
You can't force it. But one way or the other, it could be not necessarily to music, it could be from the mentions, from how we talk, from even somebody mentioned the award schemes that it has to be like, what about the top most? I'm like, no, you can't force it that high life has to be there, because you don't really have huge number of artists in Ghana doing high life. And what even shows that what we're doing now is like authentic high life, because music has changed, and you have the contemporary vibes now being added to it. What we can do is we can actually document it more and then make reference to some of these past heroes so that the next generation can also know.
Okay, but let me ask this, and I know this is where my controversy sets in about, because I have a personal interest in building an agenda for high life, and that's why I think we haven't even spoken about this, but the team is quiet here because, and our production is talking like this because they know my interest in the high life agenda it's here.
Yeah.
Yes, and I'm saying I'm an advocate for this.
Yeah.
I'm a hip hop lover. I'm an Afrobeats guy.
Yeah.
But why is it that suddenly Jay is seeing interest and a certain a brand identity for Ghanaians in high life? It's because I've come to the realization of a certain very hard truth that if we are all willing to accept that this is our music. You mentioned something about the award scheme. I even fight back and say that if we position the high life category as the topmost award and make it attractive,
Yes.
the people who want to get to the top, because it's an identity,
yeah.
would work in that space, will create variations which already exist, and work to become the topmost high life artist.
Yeah.
Now, it's also depend on how we want to see high life. For me now, when I mention high life, I don't see it as old music.
Exactly.
I see it as a lifestyle.
Yes.
I see it as a lifestyle. I see myself swagging and wearing all the dripping and calling myself a high life representation.
Yes. Yes.
That's why I have gotten to Epixode. What would it take for us to realize this? Maybe in this room, maybe me and you will be the connect on that thing. But what would it take for us to be able to get everybody under this umbrella of creating a Ghanaian identity? And I'm asking this because I was just making some sarcastic statements a few hours ago earlier on the show that the Afrobeat is Nigerian music.
Yes.
It's African sound, but it's Nigerian music.
Yes.
They are taking the lead. So if a Tanzanian does Afrobeats, it won't go as far as said. Even if a Nigerian doesn't put any effort into it, it will fly further than, because the sound has become very Nigerian, Hence one of the reasons why we are not getting ours to be able to push through. Yes, the machinery and all, and the money and all. All those things add up to what make Afrobeat.
Yes.
How do we then get us, talents like you, to be able to realize that there's a sound we need to build, and we'll make sacrifices so that in the next 20 years,
Yes.
we'll be out there?
Well, first, just like I said, all boils down to documentation. If we start documenting now, the next generation will also have what to speak about and what to actually use as reference. Now, the next thing that I see from my own perspective, I think that if we're able to make it a bit universal in the sense that I believe that Afrobeat has gotten to that level because of the language. I stand to be corrected. I always say that the Eastern African market is one of the biggest markets in Africa. Checking the likes of Diamond Platinum to Imboso to Inviri and all those guys, Saltiso and all those, they have numbers, even some more than the Nigerian artists. But it's within their circle, the Swahili and the Kiswahili and all of that. But we're actually recognizing Afrobeats more because the language is quite universal and because of the blend, the pop culture and all of those things. So if...
Say Yoruba and Pidgin.
Yes.
Mamenka.
So if we imagine
if you sing
I show up like
Afrobeats,
this,
you won't go.
you get me? Imagine I show up like this, swagged up, but doing high life. That way, it's also another way of showing them that, okay, this is new age. This is like the new swag. We don't have to wear kente and Afran Tuma and all of those things. And it would only take us to understand that if we understand it, that in the next decade or the next two it will work, that is when it will work. But if we still want to fall under the shadow of Afrobeat, because mind you, not every song that is Afrobeat is Afrobeat.
Okay, so let me ask you this. I'm playing the devil's advocate here to swing onto the side of Afrobeats as well.
Yeah.
Are you not afraid that your career can be jeopardized if you don't follow the wave that is creating the storm around the world?
I have never been that type of artist. That is why when everybody was trying to
Because some artists have suffered this.
Yes.
Being drowned when
I
they
understand.
didn't partake in the Azonto era in Ghana.
Yes.
The artists that they didn't go with it, some of them felt the
repercussions.
The repercussions. Thank you very much.
No problem. I'm here for you.
Okay, so it was same thing when dancehall started. Everybody wanted to do dancehall. But we're still standing here, still represent just a few. All I'm trying to say is when everybody was trying to draw party songs, I switched and I did Wahala Day, and that was a different. You understand? It will take the individual artist to understand and know the projection. Know that, okay, 5 years from now, where do I want my career to be? Do I want to just follow trends or still want to be here? And we're still playing Bob Marley's song. 2023. You get me? I think in his era, there were countless musicians who were even much more better than Marley. But maybe he had the foresight that, okay, let me talk about African Unite, because there's still going to be war 50 years to come. You understand? So it depends on the artist, the individual's mindsets, the projection, and all of those things. Another thing too is, if we get to look in the direction that, from nowhere, Afrobeats within like the last decade has made a difference in the world, and now is even added to the journey for cause First Night and Count, then there's a future, because the high life sound up to now, if you play Amponsa, it still sounds good. So all we have to do is build up on that.
Right. Epixode, tell us about identity.
Yeah.
Right. Now, people know Epixode as a dancehall artist, and then now you're inching more towards highlife.
I'm not a highlife
right?
artist.
You're inching more towards highlife.
Yeah.
How would you want to be referred to? I'm asking because now when award schemes come up and, we are trying to fit you into a particular category, are we considering the personality or the brand as Epixode being a dancehall artist? Or should we consider the music you are churning out, because then I think there will be that confusion of there's a dancehall artist doing highlife, right?
Yes.
So, I mean, for you, for clarity, what is that identity for you? Just opposing the two genres.
Well, for me now, I want to actually, I'm still trying to find a name for the sound I'm doing, because what I'm even doing is not like 100% high life. It's more of like a fusion. And then I have records that I've done raga on high life beat, right? So why don't I call what I'm doing Afro music? Because basically it's Afro is music, is music from Africa, right? And with the award schemes, I think it's just sad that most of the time what happens is, even if I'm a dancehall artist and I've not dropped a dancehall song in a year, and I still drop another song, because you've been tagged over the years as a dancehall artist, it would never change. But I want to be called a musician. I want to be that guy who will just sample sounds from a bottle and make music out of it. I want to be with Usain Do and Sidiki Mbate and Richard Bona and all those guys, and still want to play with the Shaggies and all those things. So for me, is a sound now for me. I'm still trying to discover it, but until then, I'll still be called a dancehall artist who did high life.
In the dancehall, in the names when they mention dancehall artists in here. In Ghana, this is quite a tough one. I mean, top of mind, we are always mentioning, Stoneboy, Shatters, meaning like in that order.
Yes.
It flows in that order as to preference. Whoever wants to put who first.
Yes.
How does that make you feel?
Blessed.
Explain.
Okay, so this is a guy who had his first big song in 2014, 2015. That's Avatar, 2015, right?
Hey.
Yes, 2015, right?
That's the man.
One of the biggest dancehall songs ever.
He actually won an award for that.
Yes. And from 2015, let's say 10 years down the lane, and the name is still in there. I might not be first, but I might be counted as one of the best. It's a blessing, because you have hundreds, thousands of artists who wants to be dancehall artists, who are even better than Epixode. But what is keeping me here is the fact that I decided to stay relevant and to still keep going. And I would say that it's nice. It's a good feeling. And it's one of the things that I always use to motivate myself as an artist. Because I tell, now watch this. 2015, Avatar came. My first nomination, VGMAs, was 2014 on Sang, right? And my first award was 2021. It takes a strong mind, a dedicated being, to always walk into the auditorium expecting to be appreciated, but nothing happens.
Now, I asked that question for a reason.
Yeah.
If you have set a tone on this So in the dancehall league, Epixode is put at a certain point. Maybe not at the top because he's not somebody finding controversy and that space creating all that. That's not Epixode. Epixode now, like Lenny was saying, is now tilting towards projecting a certain culture, a strong identity Ghanaian music, highlife. So he shifts from that lane into the highlife train, where there are legends that, of course, are put first before the recognition of a reggae dancehall artist doing a highlife. Now, Afrobeats is also another open space now. So I'm asking, in your strategy to wanting to get to the top, where and how are you positioning yourself and how are you maneuvering? Unless there's a certain plan that we're not privy to. I want to understand.
So I always say this.
I'm asking these tough ones because I want to get inside. But you know, I love you.
Oh, I know. I always say this. Overtaking is allowed. Overtaking is allowed. Now, with the performance I did, I started with dancehall. It's still to maintain the dancehall fans, not to tell them that, oh, Mejai. This year I'm dropping a dancehall EP.
Okay.
Right. So it's actually a strategic planning. Me and the team sat down, and okay, regardless of the fact that we love what we do and we still want to feed the fans who have carried us over the decades, we need to put food on our table as well.
Okay.
And the kind of mileage Atian has given me, I must be grateful for that, which gives me that kind of understanding that that's another stronghold that I have to tap into.
How was feedback with Atian?
It's crazy. And for me to have done 9 renditions out of a single song, I stand to be corrected. Maybe nobody has done it, but it tells me that sometimes the kind of songs we even release under certain genres are not supposed to be in that specific genre, because the original song is a reggae song, but it took the high life to make it worldwide. You understand? So for me, I have a plan. I have a plan.
Emotion. Maybe I asked the question way ahead of time because
I have a plan.
Yeah, you gotta wait. Cyril,
So we have every newspaper is graphic, every hot beverage is tea.
It's tea.
every toothpaste is Pepsodent.
Looking at how diverse you are as an individual, trying to promote and establish all these different departments of Epixode, the artist, the creator, the fashion designer, the graphic designer, the visual artist, the dancehall artist, the experimental musician, all that, you might risk not getting categorized.
Okay.
For the same reason that you are so diverse.
Yeah.
Have you thought about that, and do you have is it part of the plan to amplify any specific part? I know you've said that you are not trying to say you are only, that's why you refer to yourself as an artist.
Yes.
But unfortunately, in this side of our market, if you do that, then they don't know what box to put you in. How is that going to affect your brand and the efforts that you're doing in totality?
Okay. So shifting from the music side, I want to tackle the other sides of me. Yeah. It's not that I want to do it because I know. I had to learn the hard way because nobody wanted to help. Nobody wanted to shoot my videos. Nobody wanted to do my art covers. I didn't have money to buy the top expensive clothes, so I had to make one for myself with what I have. And that way, that is why I've kept it on the low. So personally, these are like personal stuff that keeps me going. Because as an independent artist, it's different if I'm working with a label and then the label will have to do all those things. There's a limited budget as to what to invest into. So if I can't buy the new Rolex, then I'll create one for myself. You understand? Yeah. So that exactly, that's one on the side. Now with the projection, I think I've been boxed in reggae and dancehall over the decade, right? And knowing my stronghold, I'm not even I am more of like a singer than the reggae and dancehall. You know, so let me say I'm now trying to find myself. I'm finding myself. I'm not going to stop doing reggae or dancehall. I want to be called a musician. That is why I've also started learning how to play instruments and all of those things. So that way, if I'm booked for a show and I don't get a band, I get to sample all the songs on my loops and still perform, because you have artists around the world who just loop Masego and FKJ and all those artists.
You don't listen correct music.
Charlie.
You know, so for me is we will get there, and who actually thought that I'll still be here after Avatar? You understand? From the hardcore dance artists, all of a sudden drop Wahala Day, and they were like, really? Then to Atia. So maybe I'm even supposed to be a jazz artist, and I've not still gotten there. So when we get there,
When you mentioned, let's go back to Wahala Day.
Yeah.
You know, it was a huge jab to the sitting government, if I can say. How did you take any pressures, any calls? Because at one point in time, so let me tell you this very uncomfortable thing. So MC is performing at KOD's event, and then there's in there was someone, I've forgotten, one of the members of state from the government.
Yeah.
It was a woman, I've forgotten who it was. And I was trying to look at the look on her face, and then when it got to the part that episode talked about the money given to the footballers, you know, whilst that, I could feel it was so uncomfortable, you know. But did you get any?
I got threats. I got unknown numbers calling my phone, and there was this day that we had to perform at National Theatre. It was one of these industry programs, and I was performing, and I think there was one minister sitting there. So I didn't know, and funny enough, that day I don't know what happened. I actually was doing more a cappella, like so that everybody listens to the lyrics of the song. Yeah. Then I got off stage and my manager is sweating. Like, but why do you perform? So apparently when I was on stage, the minister asked her security to tell the guy to stop the music. So the security guy was actually fighting with my manager. Oh. You know, and after that, I've had serious calls. I actually had a part 2, but I didn't drop it.
Wow.
Yes. You know,
you
because
sharing who the minister was?
No, I beg you.
That's fine.
I don't even know a name. That's the thing. I don't even know a name. You know. So yeah, I did. But you see, the thing is, working on that project, it wasn't geared towards the government in power. You understand? It's just that
hard truth.
Yes, and I had to speak about the current stuff. That's how come. And if you listen to it well, I even made reference to the past government and all of those things. I was only trying to be that guy who would speak for his people, because I used to do it. I did a song for Mandela. I did for Kofi Annan. So it's something that I do most of the time. But it's sad that Wahala Day came out like that.
How much of your brand is geared towards activism?
Whew.
If he drops Wahala back
reggae,
I know, right?
Reggae, raga dancehall, you know it's activist music.
Yes. Well, that's why I decided to
stand up.
I know. I actually have projects like that. I have this one of the records called This Matter. All this plenty talk, no, they convince we at all. If we bore, you go see. Yeah. Person when they shit clean him off, no, they concern we at all. But if we bore, we go see. You see, these are like songs that would when we are working, when it will get to a time we'll stand up. But just like I'm saying, I do the songs and I don't even know that 5 years to come, these are the things that will happen. Because when I dropped Wahala Day, it took like 2 years for most of the things I spoke in there to be like, oh, okay, so this is what the boy is actually talking about. It's a message I had to pass on. I might be scared sometimes, but the love of what I do actually keeps me going, you know, in the sense that if one day I wake up and the opposition comes and says, we had this record and we think you have to do something quite different, or a certain entity approaches and say that, okay, because of this, I want you to do a song for climates or do a song for this. I'm already geared in that space. I have records that are in line, so it becomes easier for me to actually work towards that. And I always say that you don't necessarily have to do songs for parties. Sometimes you have to step back and watch what is really going on and address some of these things, because we are the voice of the voiceless. We represent the people who can't speak.
Yeah, and I stand with that, because you know Stonebwoy did the Run Go, one of my favorite jams as well. Powerful song.
Like a record too.
Yeah, that song is
hard song.
It's like an advice to all of us.
Hard song.
You know, all of us.
You know, and it's gonna be here till forever.
Yes.
You get it.
What is episodes? Okay, come in, please.
Just still on that activism conversation. Do you think that we are suffering some kind of deficiency in that area. We're not getting a lot of songs
that speak on
that speak on it.
human interest stories, things that are happening to us.
Exactly, because the masses believe that people like you and your brothers in the faith, like a Sack, a Stoneboy, a Shatawale, should be more vocal through their arts to help get the attention of you know, those in power, whether you are in power today or tomorrow. But for some reason, we don't see much of it.
Yes.
And when you even attempted to do that, your life was threatened. So how do we reconcile that? How do we balance?
Well, all I can say is it's a very lonely road to trot as an artist and as a creative, because now it's not even about you. You're actually thinking about the family who has got nothing to do with music. You're thinking about the young cousin who is gearing to be a school prefect. You know, so some of these decisions, it would take a bold heart to actually say, yo, let me just do it. And also, we should look at it from this perspective that artists have also got affiliations with whoever. You know, so sometimes exactly, I might
even from within.
you get me. I might be a friend to one minister, but I've been paid by the opposition to do the work. So now it's left with me to accept it or leave it. You know, it's hard, but it would take, just like you're saying, if we all not necessarily speak about stuff that is going to really bring problems, but if we can actually solve some of these things, just like Rango, just like the one he did for the mining,
The Galamsey
you know, it's a brilliant piece. I think Samini has also done that in the past. Yeah. So it's a good cause. It's a good cause, but
okay. And you know, we didn't get enough chance in time to have a good conversation with. Well, we're having a good conversation already, but enough time to have more conversation. Yes.
Conversation.
Yeah, we
I have one bullet too.
Okay.
One bullet.
Just
one
all right,
bullet.
fire it quickly. I also have questions to ask.
Same with me.
Okay. All right.
So
sure.
I realized that when it comes to the reggae dancer fraternity, there's not been really much of a support. It's always been like kind of independent aggression, independent loudness. Why for some time, why hasn't that been the case? Like the way labels are ready to jump on Afrobeat artists, and why haven't we seen
that much for reggae dancehall artists? Yeah.
Fraternity in Ghana?
Well, I think when it all started, when reggae dancehall went mainstream, I'm part of it. We didn't look at the business part of it. We didn't brand it well to suit the corporate world. And you know, the genre itself has misconceptions. It has some kind of culture and lifestyle. That's why you can see, oh, but
Samini did it though. Samini was able to get big corporations like MTN and stuff.
But so in Samini's era, it wasn't, dancehall wasn't really like what it is today, where we talk about guns and all these things.
Violence, basically.
Exactly. you understand what I'm saying? And he was fortunate that maybe that time
the corporate interest
was exactly.
Yeah.
You know, it was
did
huge.
a lot of love interest music.
Yeah.
Music, exactly.
Linda was as far from dancehall and raga as possible.
You get, you know. So for me, I think that we did harm to it. And it's not even here. The whole dancehall world is suffering. You know, it's suffering from that. It would take us to understand that there's a sweet side of dancehall, like the Shaggies, the Sean Pauls, you know, the Craniums, and all of those things. And some of us are fortunate to be in that line, because trust me, there are countless reggae artists here who have numbers, but they are not like mainstream. Kumbolo, you have the likes of Osajifo, Zylo, and these guys have their own world. When you go to Akuma village and all these,
their community.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so for me, when it got mainstream, when we started filling the stadiums, that was when we had to start dressing corporate. We have to, you know, cut the entourage, switch the lyrics, you know, look clean. You get me?
Make it attractive.
You get what I'm saying? But we don't really do them like that.
What he's describing is the story of hip hop. when Jay-Z stopped rapping on the corner with gold chains and started wearing suits?
Suits.
When did he stop rapping
Reasonable Doubt.
with liquor
Exactly.
and then started wearing suits? When 50 Cent came on with a wife beater and bulletproof and he's now wearing suits.
I think
There's a time, you need to watch the clock. There's a time where you need to switch from being
that
hardcore authentic
I
to
think
the
there's a
money is calling
documentary
now.
on Tupac, is it Tupac and Snoop Dogg? I'm not too sure, but one of them told them that, look, bro, you need to start changing your
Yeah, they were trying to get Tupac to
change your
change.
fits.
Tupac was still
it's
like
bro,
till I
you have
die.
to change your
It's literally the beginning of his songs, right?
Let me
Till
your
I die,
question
and
quickly. We have
unfortunately-
a few minutes left.
You know, Epixode mentioned when he was speaking earlier that he doesn't want to tie in his art brand, right,
To his music brand.
the music brand. But that raises the question of, do you, because you said you also made reference to people probably not liking you as a musician and then not patronizing your art brand because they don't like you.
Yes.
Do you think that people actively show you that they do not like you, and has that translated or fed into, you know, you being quote unquote sidelined in the industry to an extent?
Well, I can say yes and no. Yes, because I've suffered that growing up, like around that era, that after Avatar, you know, when there was the whole me and Samini issue, which I've apologized and I still apologize. His Godfather, you know. The thing is, people didn't listen to the young boy. They actually chose sides because, yes, Ghana, or only opinion kwa. It be you, the kiddie, for, you know, go apologize. You get me? And I've done it. And I'm really happy that I've also changed that story, you know, from that boy who no the respect to the boy for you know, we trust in this boy. Now, I'm saying that because dancehall, that whole rivalry between me and another artist also created the thing where the fans just go come and, you know, just insult you and do this and do that. So for some time, I wasn't on Facebook actually. It was just my page. Because some of us, the craft is so dear to us that when you disrespect my thing, I feel like, no, you don't do that. So I would rather not see it and still stick to what I'm doing.
Exactly.
You know, the arts, I make money from the arts. I make money from the art. So I would not want to treat it in a way where it would actually be, it conflicts with the music. You understand what I'm saying? So even with my videos, I don't put my name, I put the ghost. Jeez, why did I even mention it?
Okay. All right, because of time, please, real quick. What's the latest projects? You also mentioned an EP possibly
Yes,
coming up. Give
Obra.
us insights into that.
So Obra is Onyame Bra, but it's Obra. And this is a live recorded song
Okay.
featuring Santrophy, the band. And it's out now. Like, I heard
they just sold out there.
crazy.
Massive.
In Europe.
Yeah.
Crazy, like those boys.
So
And
they
you
don't
see
get
it's
the they don't
highlight.
get the highlight too. I think I'll talk about them on Monday. You don't worry.
Yeah,
You know,
I think we actually need
we
to
have
get
to-
a
we
band.
need to
Yeah.
get all of them.
No, we did a story on them on
Wait,
Thread,
so you've done a
yeah.
song with them?
Yes, and the video
It's
just dropped on
fresh.
YouTube. Fresh. The title is Obra, and it's a typical Sichi highlife song. So yeah, and live recorded, no compressor, no auto tune, nothing.
Vocals.
Straight.
Raw vocals. So
Mean
on the
that.
screen now is the visuals from this brand new music, Obra, featuring Santrophy. It's out now on YouTube, so you can go and check it out on Episode's YouTube page. Yes. Nice. I like this.
Where was this shot?
PME Studios is a new studio at Makati Hill.
He's always taking videos, if you check his He's always taking videos in there. Yeah. Wow. Okay. All right. So because if you play the music out loud, we'll be streaming and we'll be flagged down, so we can't do that now. But we'll put the visuals off. You can go and check it out. That's a teaser for you. Go and check it out. So our time is up. We have to wrap up.
I'll come back.
Yeah, we have to do
Let me
this.
quickly take a little bit of airtime to break the news. Skiddy's back. He just put out a statement on his socials. He says he's glad to be back to be doing what he loves the most, creating music and performing for the fans. Thanks for sticking out with him.
But wait,
Kiddy.
Kiddy was there already.
He wasn't.
So anybody start impersonate you yet, or they don't catch you there yet?
Oh, they do.
Now I know the episode will be serious.
yeah. No, last year, that's why I actually laid off most of the guys in my team.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
crazy. It was crazy.
Oh man, why did we get this story at 10:02?
Shock. But yo, Ricky, that's not what we agreed on, bro. Come on, bro.
Well, anyways, this interview, rather short, is back on your YouTube channel and also at 10 p.m. tonight. If you want to watch Episode's performance, it's back again on YouTube tonight. On YouTube now and on
TV
tonight at 10 p.m. We'll be hanging out with the man Epixode. Don't forget, brand new music. It's Obra featuring Santrophy Band. They sold out, like he said. We'll be talking about them, later on as well inside the next week. But we'll be hanging out with Epixode. Thank you so very much, bro.
Thanks.
It's been a good one, bringing us to the end of a good week. Wait, the song you performed first, what was the title?
Odeshi. Yeah.
Hey, Charlie. All right, we out. It's been fruitful. We'll see you next week, Monday, from the Culture Squad.
Have a good weekend.